Hello everybody, this webinar is a bridge between new people and leaders. You see, we have leadership webinars for leaders, but what if you're new and you want to be a leader and you don't know what's expected? Well, on this webinar, I'm going to coach you how you can make the grade. I'm going to coach you so you can spot the qualities and the results checking so you don't get what I call leadership conned. You see, in any business where there's referrals involved, you're going to find, unfortunately, something called fake leaders. People who say, I'm a leader, respect me, and yet they're not in the trenches, they're not out there doing what they're supposed to be doing. So I'm going to teach you what Beep regards as leadership in Beep. Also today, I'm going to give you some general leadership in referral marketing and direct sales. Then we're going to concentrate on specific leadership to Beep. And then finally today, I'm going to identify some physical items that leaders need to have, the structure and results that leaders need to have, the attitude and behavior that leaders need to have, and the team leadership, the qualities leaders have. And this today is leadership specific to Beep. It's not about leadership of a political nature or military nature or religious nature. That's different. Well, people say to me, that's not what leadership is. But what they're talking about is a different kind of leadership because, for example, a political leader will need to have different leadership qualities than a military leader, and they both have to have different qualities than a religious leader. So leadership's a whole bunch of things. But here today, I'm talking about leadership as it applies to Beep. Now, before I start on that, I want to pose you a question. Why would you commit to Beep? I'm going to give you what is the vision of Beep. You see, we're going to make Beep so good that everybody else simply gives up. We're going to make Beep so that we are invincible. Absolutely invincible. So it's easier for somebody to go away, a competitor, to go and do something else than even try to compete with Beep. We're going to be a similar brand to people like Coca-Cola and Pepsi for global branding around the world. Have you any idea about what you've got your hands on in Beep? Never in history of commerce in business has one discount loyalty card connected around the world. It's an industry that nobody has ever connected it around the world, and the company best placed in the world to do this is the one that you're in, is Beep. And we're looking for leaders to share that same philosophy. You see, shortly we deliver to you t-shirts and car stickers and pins for your lapel. Now, when anybody wears or uses any Beep merchandise, I want you to realize the company that you're representing, the best company of its category in the world. You see, I'd put people in jail if I could for not giving 200% when they represent Beep, because this is heading to be one of the best companies in the world of its category, and I only want the best of the best on my team. Now, don't misread me. You are welcome to sit and watch if you introduce one store or a friend, but if you want to be on my football pitch as a leader, you better be committed. We see, we have a life-changing opportunity in Beep, a life-changing opportunity where you can become a millionaire in Beep. Now, do you honestly think that you're going to join Beep on a Sunday afternoon and you're going to wake up in Beep as a millionaire on Wednesday morning? Do you honestly think, and I certainly hope the answer is no, do you really think that Beep's going to require work and leadership and effort and patience and time and the ability to learn something? Of course it is. You see, we are looking for leaders, and that leadership is required of you if you want to make Beep really, really big. And that's what this webinar is all about. It's called Becoming a Beep Leader. So I'm going to give you some basics now, some general principles, some leadership basics. The first thing about leadership in general terms is you've got to follow. You can't lead unless you've actually done the basics. That means you have to follow the system. In Beep, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. You see, with people coming into Beep all the time, they haven't even looked at it and they start talking about what they want to change and do things like that. You've got to learn Beep from top to bottom to follow that system. Another thing about leadership is taken It's not given. In other words, you don't have to ask permission to become a beep leader. Your attitude of a leader is lead, follow, or get out of my way. It's okay to be number 2 if number 1 is leading and running. Another thing about leadership isn't piracy. It isn't going out there finding 5 people in other organisations and stealing them. You see, I find that you can't find 5 good people in other organisations and steal them, because if they're in a good organisation that was growing and paying them tens of thousands of pounds a month, nothing on earth could get you to steal them into another group. And yet people come to Beep every single day, and they're very welcome. But what I'm trying to say here is, just because you're in the middle of a big team that you inherited, it doesn't make you a leader. It makes you lucky. And you better learn to lead fast. Leaders defend, defend, defend. Leaders in Beep defend the company like guard dogs. Off-track people who are not on track in leadership, and they go, for example, they speak to a shop, and the shop says, oh, Beep hasn't called me. I've paid the money and Beep hasn't called me. And the Beep member throws their arms in the air, and they're very, very quick to assume that it's Beep's fault. And they don't realise that 99 times out of 100, when that does happen, it's the shop not answering the phone, because Beep has got a very, very well established system now of calling them and phone records when we phone those, and we email the leaders when that shop's not picking the phone up. So a leader defends first, and besides, when you defend something, it makes you look loyal. It doesn't make you look like a fickle person. And leaders promote, promote, promote. They jump up and down, and they're promoting good things about Beep all day long. Now, I think everybody needs to watch Star Wars. Everybody, no matter whether you're in Beep or anything, because there is so much to learn about the University of Attitude, the University of Life. There's so many life lessons in Star Wars. And Yoda here says, no, try not, do or do not. There is no try. What I'm trying to say here is, in Beep, I'd rather you do something. You see, you can't learn unless you do something. I'd rather you mess up and learn than sit there like a lump of wood doing nothing at all. Beep has a system, and it's best described, our system is best described in our live webinars. Now, there's a reason we have a system, and it does this. The system will save yourself stress, time, effort, and money. You don't need to try and reinvent the wheel. Go to the live webinars, listen, learn, and apply, and you'll really save yourself stress, time, effort, and money. Another great rule to live by is this acronym on the word focus. Follow one course until success. Too many people start things and they change course halfway through instead of sticking at something. What you should do in Beep is follow one course until successful. It's like learning a language or piano or guitar. It takes time, it takes patience, and it takes work. Now, I don't make promises to people. If you follow one course until successful, I don't make promises to you that if you do this, 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 and this, you're going to become a millionaire. Why don't I do that? I'll tell you why. Because I don't know what's in the heart or mind of an individual. That's what makes the difference. What's in your heart and what's in the mind of an individual. But if your heart and mind is right and you stay focused and you stay on track, then you're really, really stacking the odds in your favour. Now here is where I learned attitude. 10 years after school, I spent working in a coal mine. I went to university here as well. This is where I learned go with what we had, to go with what you've got. That's where I learned it, because when something broke down underground, the repairs workshop was 6 miles and half a mile up. I learned here not to be susceptible to the negative influence of other people, otherwise known as SNIOP, susceptible to the negative influence of other people. Great example is that you can see here there was conveyor belts, and metal conveyor belts, and coal comes off there at 8 tons a minute used to come off there. And somebody had to sit and watch the conveyor belt at the end, because if it stopped and the other conveyor belt didn't stop, it could fill the roadway and would all be out of air. So I came back from university and the man in charge of the district didn't know what to do with me, so he stuck me on the end of the belt end, they call it. I was not happy. I thought I was far too good to be stuck on the end of that conveyor belt watching coal come off and being incredibly bored all day. So somebody I knew walked past me. They saw that I'd got a very long and unhappy face and said to me, "What's the matter?" And I said I didn't think I was, I didn't think I needed to be on this job. I was better than that. And the man turned to me and he said, "You know, Lyndon, you need to be the best you can be." And he walked off. So I thought about what he said, and I thought, I looked around, and this particular place where I was, they got oil, natural oil coming out of the ground, and people were slipping and hurting themselves, and it was smelly. It wasn't very nice at all. So I dug a trench and I cleaned the track. It took me 2 or 3 days to do this, and I diverted the oil, and I got some white stone dust, and I turned the whole place into a much nicer environment, and it's safe on this corner. Long story short, I transformed the place. The manager came down a few days after, and he noticed this, and he said, "Who did this?" It was me. And he said, "You come to my office on Friday." And that was the beginning of me becoming the general manager's technical assistant. From being in a very bad place and a very bad attitude, and someone teaching me to be the best you can be in whatever your current situation is, I have never forgotten that life lesson. See, what I'm trying to do here is teach you to find 5 leaders. Getting 5 leaders in Beep isn't mean 5 wide. I've introduced 5 individual people. I've got my 5 different groups. I've got my people. I'm going to sit on them like mother hen and watch them hatch. That's not what it's about. You see, you don't know if these are lions or pussycats. What you're looking for is 5 leaders who pass the self-tests at the end of this webinar, and that's why I'm going to take you through those 5 self-tests to test your people. Now, for this part of the webinar, I'm going to talk about getting you the right equipment. We have 2 types of tablet. We have the store tablet and the demo tablet. The store tablets, there's the Aero, the GT2 and the 3G. And the demo tablet, the version, the Aero, the GT2 and the 3G. Well, it's the demo tablet you need. It's available on Beep Market. It comes with 10% cash back onto your Beep card. It's 15% cheaper than stores, and it comes with 10% cash back. A store owner you talk to can see the tablet and touch it. It's unlocked, so you can use it for your own personal use. All of them come with Wi-Fi, so you can show the storekeeper the live EPOS demonstration as well as the tablet. You can show the store owner how the Beep Stores wizard to take them to Beep Stores wizard. The tablet, of course, is branded to Beep, and you can invite people when you're out and about in public. In short, having a demo tablet is your Beep business on a tablet. And what I'm going to say to you is real short and quick. You need one. You need to get one if you are a leader. End of story. You need to get 250 Beep cards. All leaders carry cards. You don't just blindly hand out cards on a street corner. That's silly. You talk to customers to keep hold of it as the Beep business grows in their town. You see, you explain what Beep is to customers. You explain to the customers that they can get to their favourite stores to join Beep, and they can nag the store owner to join Beep. Why? Because stores listen to customers. Customers can become your powerful allies. Don't turn your customers into salesmen. You're just turning them into an army of satellites. So you say, you pick a store that you use and you use a lot, and they know you and they don't want to lose you as a customer. Well, you can go in and ask them over and over again if they've joined Beep yet. And don't forget that customers are members, and that can move you up the ranks in any case. The affiliate payment program. Well, we're very proud of this payment card. We've taken the logo off the bottom right hand corner, but you recognize it's used in 20 million outlets around the world. We're just not allowed to advertise that logo in public. See, when you've got your commission, you can spend that commission in 20 million places around the world, or you can use it to draw cash out. So order your affiliate payment program bank card now if you want to be a leader. Because one of the first questions anybody's going to ask you is, how do you get paid? And if you don't have this bank card to get paid, it means you have not been paid. You don't have to be a top detective like Sherlock Holmes to understand that if you haven't been, you haven't been paid because you haven't got the card. And it also means that you've got no belief in being paid soon. You see, your actions, if you haven't got this card, your actions speak so loud, I can't hear what you're saying. You don't need to say a word to me. I know you're not a leader because you've no belief in being paid. So, in short, get it ordered and see how fast your mind turns to focusing on commission when you have that card in your hand. Now you can combine the demo tablets, 250 cards, and the bank card that comes with the affiliate payment program into something we call the Beep Toolkit. We call it the bundle. And you can go to Beep Market here, you log in, and you can see the distributor tab drop down. It says Distributors Quick Start Bundle, where that arrow is pointing to there. Now, negative people say, I thought Beep was free. Yes, there's a lake 20 miles away from where I live, and that's free to go to as well. But to get to the lake, I need to buy a car to get there, and I also need to put petrol in the tank of the car to get there as well. Now, you can try to explain to shops without having the demo tablet and without having the Beep cards and without having the affiliate payment bank card. You can try if you like, but if I was a store owner looking at you without anything in your hand, I'd think I was like looking at a carpenter coming to do a job for me without any tools. It's as much about how you look with the right tools that counts. Imagine you've got the Beep tablet with Beep on it, and you can say, well, look, this is the Beep tablet, it's got Beep on it. It speaks volumes. When you get the Beep card out and they can see the fantastic looking Beep discount card, and they can see the Beep bank card, and you can see all these three things, they speak absolute volumes, and that's why we say get those. The webinars, right, now we've organized you and we've got you the right kit. Let's organize your team, because Beep is an online business with people, and there's a saying that online churches don't work. People need to hear people in referral businesses. So first thing about leadership as it regards to Beep webinars is send yourself to the webinar. Send yourself to the webinar at least 5 times. Burn the content of the webinar into your subconscious and then promote it to your team. So go to the webinar at least 5 times. And you can see the webinar schedule on the sales media tab. And with webinars, the live webinars, we say promote, promote, promote. Get your team on at least 5 times. Every single member on your team 5 times, and teach them to send their people to there 5 times. And if you keep doing this, you watch what happens and you listen to the attitude change of people in your team. Now, Cyprus Leadership Convention, what is it? It's 2 days with the directors and the general manager of Beep. You go to the Hilton Nicosia in Cyprus. The next one is the 30th of June and the 1st of July. It is a 2-day event. It's €130 for a single in the Hilton and 150 for a double. The event is 6 training sessions and a virtual tour of the office. Comes with coffee breaks and lunch and gala banquet, unlimited drinks, Cyprus night out. And the second night, a meet and greet at the airport. It's €287.65 per person. It's a no profit event. All you've got to do is pay for your flights and get there. Obviously pay for the hotel. And this is what I want to talk to you about. How to promote Leadership Convention. It's your opportunity to get time and photo with the directors. Why are the directors so important that you say, I want to get a photo with them? It's not about having a photograph with the directors. What it's about is, because you've got a photograph with the directors, you can show it to stores when you're out and about, and you can show the stores a picture on your phone, your mobile phone. Take a picture with the directors and say, hey, look, here's a picture of me with the directors of this global company in 180 countries around the world. Here's me with the directors of the company and the general manager of the company. It means that you mean business. And when the store owners see, they'll say, where was that photograph taken? You say, it was in Cyprus. So they know that you didn't stumble across this business around the corner in the local pub and ran into their shop. It just means that you mean business. And you get a certificate, which means you are now a fully trained member of Beep. And you get a real understanding in those 2 days about what Beep is all about. Attendance. This is how you promote. Attendance at Leadership Convention will move your business forward from 6 to 12 months. The extra money you're going to earn as a result of going to that convention will be absolutely incalculable, and it gets Beep into your DNA. And something else happens. Something happens when you travel to learn. Since the dawn of civilization, traveling to learn has had an impact on the mind. When you come home, watch the difference when they come home in your people. You're going to come to realize that getting your team to a convention is the true test of you as a leader, and it's a true test of their commitment. Now, just when you thought it was safe to look back at your screen and I'd finished talking about Leadership Convention, I'm going to have one last go. Promoting the promotions on your dashboard every time you log in. There's now a button called Leadership Conventions. You click on there and read and see everything there. Right, the next tab to it is promotions. I want you to read that as well. I want you to read the promotions content. Read it as if 15 minutes later, 15 minutes after you finished, someone was going to walk into the room and offer you £1 million, $1 million, €1 million to recite what current promotions Beep has. So if you imagine you're going to read that, 15 minutes from now someone's going to come and say, I'm going to give you €1 million for telling me what the promotions are, because you need to be promoting those all the time. Now then, now you've got your kit, now we've got you educated at the webinars and on our website. Now let's build the core of your business. A leader who calls themselves a leader without having 10 stores beeping is not a leader. They're just an empty shell full of air and no substance whatsoever. Have a look at this picture and have a look at the words underneath. Is this what you do? You sign a store up, register and walk away. Do you honestly think that will work? Not a chance. No chance at all. If you're going to make Beep work for you, you need to make sure you've got 10 happy stores. 10 happy stores that learn how to give out those cards to the customers, learn how to educate their customers, and learn how to get 500 happy customers each. To get this is what you have to do. You register the store, get the store to the wizard, find out which system is best for them. Get that store on the Beep map. Get that store to Beep Market to help them purchase their right equipment. Manage their expectations. Say, well, you don't get cards delivered until you pay for them. You don't get tablets delivered until they pay for. Find out what date they paid for them and say, look, it's 3 to 4 weeks to get the cards delivered. They come from China. So the store owner's not jumping up and down after 3 weeks thinking, oh, hang on a minute, I didn't pay for it until last weekend, so I can't really expect to have the cards until 3 to 4 weeks. That's what my agent said. Support your store at the start. Be prepared to get in that store and help that store. Educate customers to show the store how to get the cards out, and encourage your customers. That's the time when you get your 250 Beep cards or your 1,000 Beep cards or your 5,000 Beep cards, and that's where you start to give cards out and say, look, I've got 10 stores in this town and you go into there. Self-promote your own stores and let your store owners know that you're giving out cards and you want to send people in there as well. When you have 10 stores beeping, you can declare to the world that you are now an up and coming Beep leader. Now here I'm going to talk about something called good call and bad call. We've got integrators in Beep, the after sales. When somebody has bought the Beep system and paid for it and had it delivered, we always phone them up, and we always make sure that they're okay. They've got an email of the manual. They understand the manual. They understand how to use their Beep system and get going. So we always have the integrators and the after sales available to the stores. Now we've also got internal sales. Because we know we've got lazy beep members who leave stores to support themselves. They sign them up, run away, and don't get back to them. And now we've got alarm systems built into the beep system that when a store has been registered, they haven't got onto the map, they haven't ordered anything, it's obvious now that they've just been like a hit and run job and no one's there following them up. But we still realise and we have to call those people. So now we've got internal sales and we phone those people up. Now a true beep leader would be mortified when the internal sales people, and they never want the internal to do it. But you see, beep's number one priority is customers and stores, and that's why we ring up to make sure that the stores are looked after. Now we've got the stores target list. The most powerful leaders will have this type of variety of stores. You see, I've just given you here a list of 23 stores, 23 types of stores. You can have a lot more different types and categories of stores than this. But just imagine if you wrote down all these different category of stores. Imagine that you have one personal store in your town of each of these. That's the first real target as a leader. What will your team benefit from your experience when you've got these teams in your hometown? So now I just want to quickly polish up your leadership a bit. Firstly, identify in your team who wants to move. That's not too difficult to do. Ring round and say who wants to move, get them to listen to this webinar and say, look, is that the sort of thing that you want to be involved in? Do you really want to join me at the top, or are you just sitting there, you want to sit on the sidelines and clap and applaud and get one or two stores in? That's fine with me, but I'm looking for leaders and I need to find out who those are. And it starts with you. And you must change your level every 30 days. I want you to internalize this so it feels like you actually have to, and make something up that's silly, like you can't sleep in your own bed after 30 days if you haven't changed pins. You've got to sleep on the sofa or something until you've changed pins, and make it so important that you have to move through the levels every 30 days. Now, I've been around this type of industry for 30 years. I have read hundreds of books, attended hundreds of seminars, and I've spoken on stage on to tens of thousands of people at a time. But one thing it boils down to is this: if you read and listen to these two books, Skill with People is only 20-30 pages long. You can read that in half an hour. There's incredibly important stuff in there. Think and Grow Rich on the right, that is the bedrock of a lot of these books, but it's absolutely phenomenal, the information in there. And the CD of The Secret, that works entirely on your mind. If you read and listen to these two books and the CD set and see what a difference it makes to you as a leader in Beep. Now, I want to give you in a minute 4 leadership self-tests in a second, and I want you to memorize them. And here's why. Because in this is a film from the Karate Kid. The Chinese man there's Mr. Miyagi, and he's teaching the young kid there. His name I think was Daniel LaRusso from the movie, and he wanted to teach him karate. So he said, look, if you're going to learn this, you're going to learn to clean my car. You wax the car, wax on, wax off, wax on, wax off, and you turn your hand to the left and you turn your hand in a semicircle to the right. And the young lad didn't realise what he was doing, and he had him doing it all day from early morning till after it was dark. And that's what he was teaching him to do. But what he was really teaching him to do was something called muscle memory. What he was really teaching was karate blocks, the movement of karate blocks. So these arms did it without even thinking. Now what I want to teach you to do in the 4 leadership self-tests that I'm going to give you in a minute, I want you to memorize them, absolutely memorize these 4 leadership self-tests in a minute. Why? So that you can, 1, achieve them. 2, you can use it to test your team, because I don't want you to waste time with people who are never going to come with you on your journey, and you can identify lions in your group. And also, thirdly, if you can't find lions in your group, then at least it tells you you need to go and find those lions. So if you get your pen and paper out, here are the 4 leadership self-tests. The 4 tests are: what physical items do you have? The second test is what results in team structure do you have? And the third test in a minute is your attitude and behavior test. And the fourth test is what do you promote? So let's go through each test now. First one, a leader has these physical items. Number one, do you have a demo tablet? Tick, yes. 2, do you have at least 250 beep cards? Tick, yes. Number 3, do you have the bank card that comes with the affiliate payment program? Tick, yes. Number 4, have you got or booked your place? Have you got a certificate of attendance of leadership convention? Have you been to one? Have you got the certificate, or have you booked your place? If you tick all 4 things, pass. Go to the next test. If you tick less, leave my football pitch, please. Welcome, you're very welcome to go and sit in the crowd and clap if you want to just introduce 1 or 2 stores, but if you want to be a leader, it's time to leave the football pitch. Or you can reapply for the test again tomorrow. You see, you can try again. I do have a heart. I just hate to see good people fail because of a lack of leadership. Second test. A leader's own team structure. First thing is a leader has 10 personal stores. Do you have 10 personal stores? By the way, this slide is the hardest one to get through. Do you have 10 personal stores? The next one is a leader has 5 teams with the following 5 things. A leader has 5 teams with 1, a beep toolkit. Remember the toolkit is the demo tablet, the 250 cards and the bank cards. That's the beep toolkit. Got 1 beep toolkit in each of those 5 teams. The second thing is they've got at least 1 attendee at leadership convention in each team. C, at least 1 member in each team who has attended 5 webinars. D, at least 1 member in each team chasing promotions and knows exactly what the promotions are. E, at least 1 member in each team with 10 personal stores. Tick them all, pass. And if you tick them all and pass, you've now got my attention. There is no fail here. There's no request to leave the field here like the last slide. Here, this is the set where you keep on and keep at it until you've achieved it. Remember, we talked earlier about focus. Follow one course until successful. This is where you focus and keep going and keep going and keep going until you can tick all those things there. Okay, what's the next test? The next test is the leader's attitude. Are you beep through and through? Is beep in your heart? When people look at you and they talk about beep, do your eyes light up? Is it beep through and through? Have you got this focus? Do you follow one course until success? Do you wake up thinking about beep? Do you wake up thinking about beep? Are you susceptible to SNIAP, or are you immune from SNIAP, which is susceptible to negative influence of other people? In other words, do you know how to defend your own mind? And the other part of attitude of a leader is, are you loyal? Do you defend the company? Defending something makes you look more professional. Okay, it's much more difficult to defend a company because you're actually making your stance. And if you knew Beep's commitment to excellence, that loyalty would be very, very easy. Next. Leaders promote. What do you promote? Are you as a leader promoting getting the Beep toolkit? Have you today promoted getting the Beep toolkit to anybody in your team? Have you done it at least at 1 day this week? Have you got 10 stores each? Are you promoting to your people? Now, you can't promote getting 10 stores each until you've done it yourself, and then you can promote it to other people. Live webinars. Are you promoting to people? Do you look at your watch? Do you look at the schedule when the webinar is on in your country? Do you look at with the schedule for your country when it's on? Do you go to the sales media tab and do you look at the schedule and look at it and think, hang on a minute, what time is it? Let's see if I can ring somebody up in my team and promote that live webinar. Do you promote leadership convention? Do you know every person in your team, if you care about people in your team, if you don't, why would you bring anybody into any business if you didn't want them to succeed? Ask yourself that question. Why would you bring somebody into a business if you didn't want them to succeed? And if you want them to succeed, wouldn't you want them to come to leadership convention and come home completely fired up about Beep and go on and make themselves a great income? So every person in your team, get them along. If they don't want to come and they don't want to do those things, don't beat them up. Just identify them. They are not the leader you're looking for, and move on. And promote, and chase the next promotions constantly. So finally, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say to you, take your place at the leadership table. This session will be recorded so you can test yourself, you can pause, and you can write down the notes over and over and over until you get it right. Now for Beep to hit 1.5 million stores globally, 1.5 million stores beeping properly, we're going to need 1,000 lions on the pitch. That means we're going to create 1,000 millionaires on our pitch. Do you think this lion cares if you're in his way, between him and his lunch, his goal? Do you think he cares? Right? When you are this lion, you are welcome on our team's pitch. It's been a pleasure talking to you, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll speak to you again. Thanks very much.